Hey guys, welcome in. It's Garrett Owen week here on the Boston Chris podcast. Garrett Owen's music has the raw, rustic twang of a Texan, but his origin story is not that of your typical cowboy troubadour. He is the son of career missionaries. Garrett spent his childhood in Tanzania and Kenya, his adolescence in South Louisiana, before coming of age in Ecuador. Asked about the most palpable effect of such eclectic settings, he cites not the musical, but the psychological. I think it made me a really open person, Garrett shares. I've seen a lot and I have a really hard time with rules. On Owen's third album, Memoriam, this much is obvious and celebrated. And we will talk about his lack of rules and his eclecticness and his raw, rustic music right here on the show today. But before we get into it with Garrett, I need you guys to like this video wherever you're watching. Please like it, and if you want to see more in-depth, candid conversations in the future, make sure you hit that follow or subscribe button and comment down below your favorite part of this episode. And without any further ado, guys, we are going to get into it with the one and the only, my friend, Garrett Owen. Y'all check it out.
It's time to jam. It's time to mingle. It's time to see what everyone's drinking. It's time to jam. It's time to mingle. It's time to see what everyone's drinking. Until we all lose connection.
Hey, this is Steve Dorff, and thanks for listening to the Boston Chris Show.
All right. Guys, it's Garrett Owen week here on the Boston Chris podcast, and so I've known Garrett for a while. This is a really exciting interview for me because I've been a fan of yours for over 8 years, and I got to tell you how we learned about you, and it might really humble you quite a bit to know. A mutual
Heather
friend.
Little.
Yes, it was Heather Little. Yes, yeah. She is such a proponent of songwriters, and she's a huge fan of yours, and she told us about you, and man, ever since I've been a huge fan as well, and I can't wait to chat with you about what you do and how you do it. And kind of our format here is to kind of look at the genesis and the beginnings of creative people, and so we will get into that here in a minute. So we're going to include a couple of Garrett's songs here on the episode, and the first one we're going to talk a little bit about is called Bleeding Through My Shoes. Tell us a little bit about the song.
I wrote it. Oh wow, kind of forgot. Um, I kind of forgot that song was written in. Well, one version of the song I think I wrote in 2012,
Okay.
and then I think I rewrote. I don't know. I was going through this period in 2012 where I kind of got into this place in my head where I felt like I just couldn't write choruses. So I
Interesting.
actually went ahead and just said to myself, well, why bother?
Yeah.
I'll just, I'll write this song that has like 10 verses. So, and I had a version of Bleeding Through My Shoes. The only thing resembling a refrain was the bleeding through my shoes part.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and and then I quit playing it for quite a while, and then in I think in 2017, no, 2016, I had a family member uh, diagnosed with a form of cancer, and they were told that they had a couple weeks left to live.
Oh man.
And then they lived exactly that much longer. They were given 2 3 weeks left to live, and she lived another couple weeks. And then so I wrote what are now the choruses to Bleeding Through My Shoes after that.
That's incredible, and it's quintessentially you, right? Like, so you have so much freedom in your art, and I'm so excited
Hmm.
to chat about that with you because it's what makes you unique, and I love that. But yeah, before we get into the nuts and bolts of what makes Garrett tick, let's check out "Bleeding Through My Shoes" right here on the Boston Chris podcast. All right, so
You're coming for a war, fitted for your coffin. 'Cause I don't give up easy now. I'm headed for a war, fitted for my coffin. 'Cause you don't give up easy now. You don't give up easy now. You're sleeping like a rock on the ground at night, praying to the Lord, keep us out of sight. Bleeding through my shoes, crying in my jacket. Oh, I wish I was dreaming. Oh, I wish I was dreaming. Before my morphine dream, I would write to you by kerosene. I recall the gloves you wore in spring of 1934. I live in a graveyard now, buried none too deep. Lord, my soul to keep. Skin like a tree, hands like a knife. No, I never had to learn to fight. A child of war and a man of death. You'll be cursing me with every breath. Ooh, with every breath. Screaming to the king, fill my lungs. Sword and a shield for a serpent's tongue. Bleeding through my shoes, crying in my jacket. Oh, I wish I was dreaming. Oh, I wish I was dreaming. You know I'd gladly take her sick and her sorrow, if for a moment all of my strength she could borrow. Erase the time, give my Katie one more day. I've got something I wish to say.
podcast. All right, so we're back with Garrett. Your Genesis story is so interesting to me. You are the son of missionaries, is that right?
Hmm.
And so your growth period was pretty much all over the world, right?
Yeah, East Africa, well, Tanzania and Kenya, and those countries are included in this block of East Africa. And if you're looking at Africa and you find the part called the that we refer to as the Horn, I guess
Right.
everything kind of near the Horn. are things kind of considered East Africa. Ethiopia, Tanzania, Kenya, Burundi, Rwanda, uh, Ethiopia.
Somalia's
Um,
over there too, right?
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So you went
Um,
from East Africa, and I guess your formative years were in South Louisiana. Is that right?
well, I was in well, age 2 to 10 in Tanzania and Kenya, and
Okay.
then age 10 to 13 in South Louisiana, and age 13 to 19
Ecuador, right?
in Quito, Ecuador. Yeah.
Wow. Just crazy. So, like looking back, knowing who you are now, being such a traveling troubadour as you are, I mean that this had to kind of set you up for that, right?
To be totally honest, for the most part, I feel I don't necessarily get to spend near as much time on tour as I'd really like to,
Mm-hmm.
because it takes a lot of because I don't have any of those infrastructure things.
Mm-hmm.
It takes a lot of effort to book yourself in places where nearly nobody knows you,
Mm-hmm.
and um, then you're gone for a long time, and then you come back, and it can be hard to even though I want to do it all the time, it can be quite difficult to drum up the energy to just stay booked on the road all the time. But when I get back from tours, I'll go through a 2 week period where I'm just thinking, just put me in a hotel room and give me some Lunchables. That's really all I want. Like,
Just some
just
Lunchables.
yeah, just let me load into a venue and load out 3 hours later, and put me in a hotel room and some Lunchables and an apple, and that's really all I need.
Do you think
But
that kind of wanderlust lifestyle was kind of created from that childhood, though?
yeah, it made me pretty comfy with
With anything.
spending yeah, spending a lot of time alone, and comfortable with seeing a lot of new stuff, and alone time. Yeah.
So, like with these like incredible, surroundings that you're dealing with as a young kid, how is music finding you?
I, it took a while. Um, my parents both, I would say they both like music a lot. Um, and my mom has a lot of training in piano and voice. Uh, she has a classically trained voice.
Yeah.
She was in choirs um, in college uh, that toured professionally. But I wouldn't necessarily say there was just a ton of music in the house growing up. Uh, Kind of my earliest memories of seeing CD covers, or seeing the covers of cassette tapes. Um, I remember seeing the Katie Lang cassette tape
Nice.
that we listened to in the car all over East Africa, and but because by virtue of being a missionary kid, I was given tapes like DC Talk or Christian rock like Petra at the
Yeah.
time.
Hmm.
And at this point, I can barely remember what I have almost no memory of what Petra sounds like, but I still have strong memories of what DC Talk sounds like
Yeah.
on a cassette. Um,
I find your
and
upbringing
then
so interesting because, like, being the son of missionaries, you would think that your music would be very grounded in Christian sounds. But even though there's a lot of spirituality in your music, I would never in a million years call you a Christian artist. So like
Well, I,
how?
I
Go
I
ahead.
feel like I got really really lucky there in that I managed to go 20 years being surrounded by worship music, and I just never really let that stuff inform how I would then later sound.
Hmm.
I do see it sometimes
What's the
where
reason for that? Do you think?
I was just so conflicted the whole time. I, as soon as I got exposed as soon as I got exposed to metal and rock, that's really that would go on to consume me walking around all over the city in Quito, Ecuador, as a high schooler. I I was mostly listening to Stone Temple Pilots, Guns N' Roses, Pantera, um, and I had I had, I was asked sometimes to play on the worship team, and then they would tell us as a group, like, if you're going to be on the worship team, we want you listening to mostly Christian music, and then I would find a way to politely decline.
So was it just
So
was it a dislike of the music, or was it more of a rebelling nature? Do you think just because you're surrounded by it all the time?
I think just that. I think
Yeah,
I've had a really hard time with being told what to do.
I understand. Yeah.
Yeah. But no, I actually I still find I can still think of worship songs that I really like. Actually, there was a song that this particular sometimes worship leader would play. As we were walking into chapel every Wednesday morning, this guy he would play this he would play "Beautiful Scandalous Night," and he had a way of working the melody into this kind of fingerstyle guitar part that I don't know. I always thought he probably made that, but I don't really know. Um, but that was probably like a moment of worship music that I had the most affection for out of
Was it because of the
it's
guitar though? Do you think?
probably,
Yeah,
yeah.
because I know you're just an incredible guitar player, and I know that's a passion of yours, and it's definitely something I want to chat about later. Is kind of your unique styling of tuning and things like that.
Mm,
I don't know
thank you.
nothing about. I'm going to keep it real. I'm not a musician, but that's why I want to ask you about it later. But I know that that's kind of a lot of where your music is grounded. It is your love for guitar, so I can kind of see that
Mhm.
being something you would take a liking to. Is that kind of how your musical, I guess, becoming a musician kind of took shape? Was a love for guitar? How did that kind of start?
Yeah, I was staying in a friend's house in high school because my parents were gone for a few days or a week or something, and this kid was older than me. He was just a couple years older than me, but he was one of the kids um under this same missionary organization as my parents, and so we sort of had to be friends. We were going to end up being at missionary functions
Mm-hmm.
together on a regular basis, and so he was one of the few older kids that was just he was nice to me out of obligation, and then at school he would come up and pretend to beat the crap out of me in front of other kids and stuff, and so he's kind of my ideal version of the older kid that you end up wanting to be like. And he was picking up guitar, and he was learning Lagrange by
Wow.
ZZ Top,
Yeah.
and he every time he would get to the first solo, he would stop it. And one time he stopped the CD player and he goes, "Damn, these guys are good." Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and then the following week, we started trying to dig my mom's classical guitar out of storage, and it had maybe three strings on it. So there was this whole it was like a 2 3 week process. Like get guitar out,
Mm.
go get strings, put strings on it. It felt like it took forever because I just wanted to get my hands on this thing. After
So
that,
are you teaching yourself at that point?
my dad has a my dad played banjo when he was in college, and so my dad taught me a three finger pattern on guitar, and it had a series of what I would refer to now as the inside voices of two, the inside voicings of the inside voices of six chords on guitar. That was the first thing I learned. Um,
And that's more than most guitar players right off the bat.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
and I guess because the first thing I learned was a fingerstyle thing, it would turn into this ordeal for me where strumming was just much harder for me
Interesting.
than articulating something fingerstyle. So and it was cool because I thought it was cool that I mean it had a little melody kind of built into it, sort of.
It's kind of like learning how to drive before you've learned how to walk, huh?
Yeah, it set me up to be really satisfied uh, playing this thing by yourself.
Yeah, yeah.
and and so even though in high school I would kind of flirt around with being in bands, and I got a ton of enjoyment playing with a kid that I kind of taught how to play guitar.
Mm-hmm.
Um, for about 3 years, we were just like on campus at home. We were playing music together every chance we got. But but I always come back to playing fingerstyle guitar by myself.
I think it's pretty serendipitous, reading about your story. I just got to tell folks out there, right? So, out of the first, say, 20 years of your life, you essentially spent 16 or 17 of those outside of the country. Um, and so we're talking East Africa, we're talking North, South America, and you're derived from Japanese immigrants. Also, you have that in your
Yeah.
family. So, and the son of missionaries. If anybody was not meant to be who you ended up being, it would be you. Like how, like it just feels like so many possible obstacles and walls in your way to stop you from being who you became. And so it's just so awesome to see that you did become who you became. This incredible singer songwriter with so many different vibes in your music. And yet you're finding all of these influences outside the country. I find that so interesting. Like you're talking about metal, finding metal in keto. So, like, how is that just coming to you through friends? Like, you get to go to your friend's house and maybe they have that stuff there, or like, how is it infiltrating you?
Um. Yeah, I had a best friend also. Well, before, yeah, it it came in waves. I had probably the guy that was my best friend really when I started playing guitar. His name was Wesley, and I have no idea what he's up to now. None of us that went to high school and middle school with him, none of us can find him on the internet. So
Hmm.
we there are about five of us that check in with each other every like once every 6 years. We go, hey, have you been able to find Wesley? And the answer is always no. But he I would say he was my best friend really eighth, ninth, and part of 10th grade maybe. Um, and he was hip to all the juicy stuff. He was he was super hip to Metallica and Anthrax and Slayer and a band called Iced Earth. Um, and he was hip to all the really nerdy guitar stuff like Joe Satriani and Steve Vai
Mm.
and Vinnie Moore, um, Yngwie Malmsteen. He was turning me on to all of that kind of stuff. So I had this
So you
I
already
had this
had this love of guitar, and now he's kind of showing you this different way to play, right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess the way I got started at the very, very, very beginning, I, I I could have imagined that kind of eventually leading to folk music, like or what we call folk,
Yeah.
like it did. But then um, I just got really, really into trying to play lead guitar because of Wesley
Mm-hmm.
and everything that he was showing me. And he didn't have any interest in writing music. He just and he just wanted to play Metallica, really. He he had three or four electric guitars, and he just wanted to shred all the time. I had I had an electric and two acoustics for most of high school, I guess. Um, but yeah, there were just so many different little universe of guitar to
Mm-hmm.
get into, and he and I were kind of in we were kind of simultaneously into all of them. We would we would be talking about fingerstyle, or we were both trying to learn some classical stuff by ourselves, and I was buying guitar magazines, and it also kind of it informed my perspective, uh, this way that South America seem not qu- I'm not I don't know any other way to say this, but musically it's like they're 10 years behind whatever the trend is.
Yeah. Yeah.
and and so
Especially then, right before the internet, I would imagine.
yeah,
Yeah.
so I mean it was really common to see a guy walking down the street holding a classical guitar, dressed all in black with long hair, and he's got a Slayer shirt on.
That's what's up.
It's Yeah, even though I was picking up guitar in like 1999, 2000. Yeah, it was.
What do you think it was about, like, just the entire recipe around you, right? Between the way you're growing up and kind of your passion for the guitar. What do you think it was about the guitar that made you just, gravitate towards it so much?
the um well, I really really struggled with making conversations with having conversations with other people.
Sure.
um I really really struggled with awkwardness and just
Social
having
anxiety, that kind of stuff.
well, yeah,
Yeah.
just having to exist at a high school, and I've, I've always hated rules. So just giving me something where I could actually, um, it kind of made everything okay to just hang out with my guitar for 4 hours at a time, and then I I would just take my guitar with me everywhere all day at school, and then I would find little moments to play guitar on campus, and it was it was my security blanket.
I find that very interesting, and it's serendipitous too. I mean, it makes sense. It surely does. Like with social anxiety, I mean, essentially you're letting your fingers do the talking in a way, you know, and it kind of probably creates a form of acceptance as well. I bet, right?
Hmm. When when I started to get decent at it, um, then other people had something to say about me,
Sure.
uh, other than just other than just man, he's weird.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. Well, weird is a good thing, and at least nowadays it is. Probably not so much back then, but you know what I mean, right? Like weird is just
Mhm.
it's a better word now. I think. When did you know? I imagine it had to be pretty early that this is something that you wanted to do. Like this is, you know, at first it's probably a hobby. It's a form of acceptance. It's a way to speak out and become part of the crowd, but at some point it probably evolves into, you know what, I want to do this. This is what I want for my life. When did that happen for you, do you think?
Probably around when I've been playing about a year and a half, because I think I've been playing about a year and a half when I first started to notice other people noticing me play guitar. And so their noticing would result in, say, I would be playing during study hall if I could play during study hall if I told the study hall person, the study hall monitor person, um, if I told them that I'd done everything I needed to do already, and then they would just let me play guitar during study hall. Um, I think I'd been playing a year and a half the first time another student was like, I love this study hall because I get to listen to Garrett play guitar.
And so that's
um,
kind of eye opening, right? Kind of validating in a way.
yeah, and then I mean, my idea of playing music for the rest of my life has what what that means now versus what I was hoping that would mean then are two totally different things.
Right. Yeah.
But but they're still true.
Right. And I know there's an evolution process to it, like a almost if a path of a musician is linear, then a lot of times it's musician or vocalist, and then you know, you're learning songs that inspired you and stuff like that, and then at some point, if you become an original artist, at some point you start dabbling in your own originality and writing your own songs. What does that look like for Garrett Owen? Kind of transitioning into a creator.
Well, I wanted to mostly just be a lead guitar player when I really started out. I
Yeah.
didn't.
So something had to change there at some point. Yeah.
Mhm. In Well, in college, I tried to study jazz, or I did technically study jazz for a couple years at a community college, and then I just had this. I mean, I was being pretty hard on myself, but I also there was a reality check thing happening where I thought if I if I think if I think studying jazz at a community college is difficult, how much more difficult
Yeah.
is it
Wait
going
till
to
you get
be
further. Yeah.
when I get to some university that actually even really focuses on guitar studies, and I'm trying to study jazz at that kind of school. Um, so yeah, so I started to look at the form of art that probably has the lowest bar to entry.
So folk music, is that what it was?
Well, just any anything that refers to itself as songwriter music, it
Mm-hmm.
seems to just be like I hate to say this, but I heard somebody say it like within the last 5 days. They like this person was speaking into a microphone, and this person said, yeah, this is what did they say? I don't want to out them too badly, but they said something along the lines of like this is the easiest thing you can do in front of other people and draw any kind of audience. You just have to learn a couple chords and and then start singing. Uh, that's not that's not what it has become for me.
No, not at all. Yeah.
But but I guess I wanted something simple. I wanted something that seemed simple and even possible after studying jazz. So so I did. I was it's interesting that the Bruce Springsteen movie just came out recently, right?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it yet. There's a good chance I won't see it. Um, but when I was studying jazz, some of the things I found most inspiring, making me think about maybe singing and writing, were uh, the first John Prine record, and then Springsteen's Nebraska. Um,
Man.
so yeah, I was well. I've been finger picking the whole time I could play guitar. What? Why am I just spinning my wheels trying to play a thousand notes in jazz ensemble? Uh, and what am I really going to gain from sight reading ensembles? And so I was having a hard time with those things. It's um, almost everybody in those ensembles were having some version of a hard
Sure.
time with it,
Yeah, it's very
um,
humbling.
but there were but there were outliers, and those people just uh, I couldn't help but compare myself to the real outliers and
Hmm.
to the guys that would go on to become full-time studio musicians in Nashville. Now there was a guy in my jazz ensemble sometimes that he could play circles around every single student, and now he's either full-time touring or he's playing on people's records in Nashville. He
Yeah.
kind
You know, it's funny.
and so
Again, I want to mention I am a layman. I can't play guitar. I've never been able to play guitar. But as a fan of yours, and I'm going to try to say this as technical as I can as a layman, I find your journey to be so interesting as a fan and listening to your playing because of all the different ingredients that you've kind of added to your toolbox over the years, from starting out with a classical guitar mentor, so to speak, your mom having been into classical guitar and all of that, and then picking up jazz. And even though you know, that humbled you and it kind of set you on the path that you ended up becoming, you still have those vibes. You still have those jazz techniques that you use in your music that has impacted your sound over the years. The three finger picking, that's very bluegrassy, right? That's very bluegrass, banjo
of.
style picking. You have all of these tools in your toolbox that make you uniquely you. Have you kind of looked at that kind of in reflection and how that's kind of created your vibe?
And so it has me in this place now where I'm kind of I'm kind I'm kind of from song to song I'm kind of
Yes,
picking what version of myself is gonna is gonna take over the song.
I
And
love that. Yes. That's so cool. Just the way you put that, the which version of myself is going to take over the song. As a songwriter, is there like when you're writing songs, is it a different version of yourself each time you're writing, as well?
it can definitely feel that way.
Yeah.
Like even just as simple as uh, deciding I'm gonna write in a different time signature or decide, well, I'm playing a waltz. Well, it's it's been it's been 2 years since I wrote a waltz, and then uh, that it kind of you find it, I've written so much in 4/4 that when I write waltzes, it my brain ends up trying to find a way to operate now
Mm.
in this different time signature, and um I didn't start experimenting with different guitar tunings until um 2021, 2022, and so now I yeah, I've been through a bunch of phases musically, and I'm still finding new phases to go through, and new guitar tricks to improve at. Um,
I imagine that's
and that
exciting
that
for you, right?
yeah, that's just gonna be, I think, there's so much left there that that's just gonna be a lifelong
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. Is there just a lot of what if in your world? Like, what if we did this? What if I tried this? Like, you talk about experimental and alternate tuning. I mean, as a songwriter, you're great at what you do already. So, like, becoming complacent and settling for what you already have would seem to be okay from the standpoint of a fan or a consumer of yours. But as the artist, you're not okay with that. You want to grow always, right? Is that partly why you're wanting to try these new things?
hmm Um,
It's just I don't want to say boredom, but that's almost what it is, right?
um, just that yeah, just that I know from everything that from all the music that I've been consuming, or that I
Sure.
consumed up to a point.
Yeah.
Just that I know that there are these uncharted waters for me to still find, and sometimes I try and ease my way into them, and sometimes I just go way too deep immediately. I think it felt like writing this one song, "Rosemary and Thieves," was
I
just
love that song so much, man.
thanks.
Yeah,
Um,
dude.
that felt like way too deep, way too soon. Uh, and then it took me kind of 2.5 years to experience all the emotional stuff that went into that song.
Yeah.
So there were lots of breaks. I like wrote the intro and verse, and then spent months kind of uh, getting to where that would even come out of me somewhat smoothly, and then I would experience some other thing, and then try and find a space for that in that song. Uh, yeah, I think it took me roughly 2 years to go through everything that went into that song, and all the while, well, I around the time that I started writing Rosemary and Thieves, um I took like a 5-6 month online guitar course around that time.
Wow. Okay.
Um, and it wasn't all pleasant, but it was still really inspiring, and got me got me really excited about playing guitar.
So
So
when
so
you're involved in a song like that takes so long to go from blank page to fully fleshed song, how do you stay emotionally present within that song, right? Because like your songwriting's very emotive. It's gonna make you feel something every single song, and it might be a positive, it might be a negative emotion. But when a song is taking longer to kind of present itself, how are you staying emotionally present within it?
I guess that I was what's the word? I was genuinely affected by and therefore like present for each section of lyric writing that went
Yeah.
into that song. So it ended up not mattering too much that the 6 months later I wasn't where I was when I wrote the first verse.
Hmm.
Because musically I could tie everything together in such a way that the whole thing feels somewhat cohesive, even though I would say there are 4 or 5 pretty distinct movements to that song. Um,
It's a
um,
journey for sure, man. Oh man.
mhm.
Yeah.
So it ended up, yeah. Oh, okay. So with the being present, it's like I've kind of just made peace with um well with that song. I just kind of had to make peace with the idea that I was gonna know that not that each section didn't lyrically really have anything to do with the section that just happened previously, but that I was gonna be okay with that because I was gonna find a way to tie it all together musically. I
Yeah, and
think.
that's one of the things that I absolutely love about your songs is like as a listener of just music overall, I feel like songwriters are really good at making people kind of create a sense of expectation. You can kind of expect where a song is going to go, right?
Mm.
And with you, that is not there. And it's just it's fabulous. It's
Thanks.
almost it's really honestly like a mystery every single song. And man, I wish I could think of of an example, but there is one song where you're talking about the, you're rhyming smile with while, and but the while is kind of further on in the song. It's not really part. There's like a pause between the end of the chorus and then in a while. And it wasn't expected. It was like totally. I'm like, how is he rhyming that with smile? It was, I think, time with smile, and then the in a while come in, and I was like, okay, that makes sense. So that was one of the things my wife and I was talking about last night. It's just how much of a mystery like your path goes through a song. It's so freaking cool how you do that, man. I love it. I wish I
Thank you.
could think of the song off the top of my head, but like I literally listened to dozens of your songs last night, so I apologize. Um,
Oh yeah, it rings a bell, but I can't think of it either. I know I have one that does that for sure.
now it's just gonna. I'm just gonna pause this and we're gonna go find it because I want. I know I'll know it when I see it. You know what I mean? Tonight will be fine is the name of it.
Oh,
And
cool.
so the end of the first half of the chorus is the word smile, and then you say tonight will be fine, and I'm like, how is he rhyming smile with fine? And then you end it after a pause with in a while.
Mm,
Yeah,
mm.
it's just something that simple is very unexpected and adds so much to the songs. It's just it's when the path kind of veers off like that. I think it just creates a much cooler experience between the fan and the creator. I think, but yeah, that's definitely one of my favorite songs by you for sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. I wanted to talk a little bit too about kind of the shift for you to end up in folk, right? So we talked about all of these influences that you had from metal and all this other stuff. You did talk a little bit about kind of just simplifying who you are as an artist. Is that really the genesis to you entering the folk scene? Do you think?
It's it's always been difficult for me to really be a part of something that's just somebody else's project, or it's been difficult to just go start a band. But playing acoustic guitar and singing is something where you can kind of just to a degree, you can go almost anywhere, and
Yeah, I feel like folk music is kind of where artists go that don't like to follow the rules, right? Like that's just. I mean, I think that's essentially you talked about not putting a chorus in the song. I can't think of a chorus. I'm just gonna do all of these verses. That's perfect for
Mhm.
folk music. You can do whatever you want. You can say whatever you
Yeah.
want when you want to say it. And so, I mean, it's the perfect place for somebody like you. I think.
Well, yeah, and it just kind of another reflection on like um you can still do it if you're awkward and have a hard time. Um, you can as long as you get comfortable just being kind of awkward in front of people, you can make an agreement with so many places where it's just, you know, plug me in, turn on the microphone, uh, have a decent sound person, and we can do this. And
Do you think
it's
those lack of rules kind of create your uniqueness?
I hope so. I
Yeah.
mean, I yeah, I was initially attracted to a simplicity and and a a version of song structure that was definitely simply much simpler than where I've ended up. But now I find myself in kind of an odd spot again where lately I don't really listen to my genre any much these
It's
days.
very common.
Yeah, I've been listening to a ton of rock
Yeah.
lately.
As far
Um,
from what you do as possible, almost, right?
hmm
Yeah. Very common. I hear that a lot. A lot, a lot. Yeah. Um, and it makes sense because what you do is in a way it's work. You know, it is work. I imagine another thing is kind of a fear of replication too, right? Like you don't want to do exactly what somebody else in your genre is doing, and if you hear that, then you might really gravitate to it, right?
hmm
Yeah. So we talked a little, or you talked a little bit about experimental or alternate tuning earlier. And again, I am a layman. I don't know anything about guitars. So as a fan, can you tell us how that changes your sound?
maybe, yeah. um, for well, it's a really good way to create this pleasant kind of droning effect of um with the guitar in that it makes it so you can kind of run a couple fingers up and down the whole neck, and everything can still sound somewhat harmonious while you do that as you pluck or strum the whole guitar. Um, Harder to get away with doing that in standard because of the way that tuning operates. But there are a bunch of ways of tuning the guitar um, to a chord, uh, essentially, and then as you run your fingers up and down the guitar neck, now you can have everything you do kind of be in one key.
Interesting. Okay.
Um, that's one thing. It also changes. It makes you think more because if you go to do chords that uh, that chord that you're used to playing in this position in standard, it's not there anymore now that you're in a different tuning.
Huh.
So you end up kind of it's a really good way to just make the instrument just feel all new again, and then you I, you end up kind of sacrificing comfortable positions to find a new awkward position to make this chord, uh, and then as you strum the whole thing, you'll have this note attached to it by virtue of the open tuning that is not attached to that chord in standard tuning.
Okay.
Um, you can stack intervals on top of each other in these open tunings that are not physically possible in standard tuning. Um,
And so, as a listener, another guitar player would be able to recognize that.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Like um, yeah, one of the few artists who's somewhat decidedly kind of in my genre that I have been listening to in the last 24 hours is Rusting Kelly, and I can tell immediately while I'm listening if he's playing in standard or some alternate tuning because I can just hear like the freedom with which he's doing something that doesn't exist in standard that way. Um, so I could tell he's in some open tuning while
Yeah.
he's doing this thing. Um, Also, because I can just hear intervals being stacked on top of each other that are pretty near physically impossible in standard. Um,
So,
yeah, it creates a sound. Yeah.
as this like incredible student of the guitar as you are, does that mean, from a songwriting process standpoint, that most of your songs are created from music first, the melody or something guitar driven, and the lyrics come second? Is that how you work?
hmm I mean, there will be a period where I'm just I'm just building a guitar part and a melody, and then I'll and then there will be a period where I'm trying to create both at the same time, where I'm trying to just sing something, either a harmony or I'm trying to sing in unison to what I'm playing,
Mm,
and I'll start where there will be a period where it's all kind of happening at once, where I'm trying to sing lyrics uh, to either harmonizing a melody or unison to what I'm playing.
yeah.
As the guitar stuff gets more and more fleshed out over time, then there will be a point where the guitar stuff just continues, and then on the back end, I'm writing lyrics and melody to the guitar part.
Incredible stuff. And I mean, I got to tell you, as a listener, you have a phenomenal vocal. I mean, just phenomenal. And how important is it to you to be able to match those vocals with the guitar? Because like your guitar is so good, and it's where you kind of have started from. It's where your seeds grew from. Now you have to kind of match your vocals to that. So like over time, I imagine maybe you struggled with your vocals catching up in some form. Did that happen with you at all?
I think so. Yeah, I think
What I mean by that is like maybe there's a part on the guitar that you're really loving, but your vocals just won't get there for you. You know what I'm saying?
hmm no, yeah, that happens. And then I just start. Uh, it has made me. That's yeah. It has caused me to permanently put some songs on the back burner, so to speak. So there are some songs that just don't get finished
Right.
because I can't quite figure out how I'm gonna sing over this thing or sing to this thing. Um, there I, there's some that I guess with the guitar part I fall in love so much with the guitar part. I just decide um, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna make yeah I'm just gonna allow myself to sing this kind of all over the place
Yeah.
melody, kind of like Rosemary and Thieves. There's
Yep.
a lot of like note hopping.
Up and down. Yeah.
and you just have to, for me anyway, I just had to go into it knowing a whole lot of the time this is not going to be perfect,
Yeah,
and
see, it's funny because
and
like
that's okay with
I
me.
love your range, but like
Thanks.
I love your vocal range and your voice is amazing. But as a guitar player first, I can imagine it's not necessarily a skill thing; it's a confidence thing, right? So your guitar confidence is going to be up here. Your vocals might be down here. They might be
Mhm.
skillfully very close, but in your head and your confidence level in each is going to be off kilter. So just having more confidence in your guitar playing and less in your vocals is going to be an issue, I would imagine, as a creator. You know?
Yeah, I mean, I it's like mileage varies so much
Sure.
as far as like opinion to opinion from one person to
Yep.
another, and I kind of think that my ability to create melodies is actually kind of kind of like is kind of running parallel to my ability to play.
Yeah.
Um, and some people would put it more like I'm a player first, I'm a songwriter second, and I'm a singer third.
Right.
Um, I kind of I think as like a like a protective mechanism, I wish that the singing wasn't even being graded, but it definitely is
It
when
sucks. Yeah, it sucks. Yeah.
I kind I, I kind of yeah, I wish I wish like all listeners would just trade thinking about what's the fact that I'm singing and just swap that out for melody,
Yeah.
and that
Yeah.
it could be that like making melodies and playing guitar are like kind of a tie,
Hmm.
and then like songwriting is second and third.
Well,
It's,
I gotta give you your flowers, man. As I said earlier, your songwriting is very emotive, and if your songwriting is emotive, obviously the biggest compliment I feel to a songwriter is to make somebody feel something,
oh,
and
cool.
I think it's very important, as I'm sure you'll agree, that your vocals have to deliver that feeling in such a way,
Hmm.
or it's gonna fall short. It's gonna fall on deaf ears, and you make us feel right, whether it's joy or it's sadness or whatever it is. Rosemary and Thieves is a good example, man. That's why I'm curious how you were able to stay in that emotional place for so long. If people haven't heard this song out there, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but the song is about your grandmother. I think who had Alzheimer's, and I mean, it's just it's such a oh man, such a captivating journey of how her end kind of came to be. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Um, I mean, yeah, I mean, I guess that's probably to some degree, I probably wasn't in the same spot for that whole writing process because I was living with her and taking care of her
Sure.
at at the time.
And that whole record
Um,
came from that era too, Memoriam, right? Like it
mhm,
was all
mhm.
written from that time. And just it's just a great record as well. I want to make sure that we're going to put a link to the record in the description below. It is called Memoriam. It's the latest record from Garrett, and you guys just wow. That's all I got to say. Just wow. So we've been here with Garrett for about a little under an hour now, and we've got some fun segments. But before we get into those, I wanted to chat a little bit about the second song, which is called "No One to Save You." Can you tell us a little bit about this one, Garrett?
Yeah, that's that came from my up to that point, my favorite somehow, my favorite 3 weeks of my life um, were spent on tour opening for an artist named Parker Millsap,
Mm,
and so he's very big in my genre, so to
yep.
speak. Um, and when I met him, I opened for him, and then he came back. He came back into the green room after my set and asked me if I would be interested in opening for him and his band for a few weeks, and I said yes. And then at the end of the night, I said, "How do I follow up on that
Right?
that thing you mentioned earlier?" And he said, "Don't worry about it. My guy will contact your guy." And at the time, I had a guy. I had a manager at the time.
Let's go.
Um, yeah. So he said that, and then 2 weeks later, we just started getting offers, like shows to say yes to, and um, the really, I mean, the only rough part of that tour was trying to keep a relationship together at the same time,
Yeah.
and I was very much just kind of trying to enjoy being on the road, and um, the woman I was with at the time was a little bit. I don't, she was really trying to be helpful, but she was also getting really upset about some stuff. And so that's No One to Save You is kind of I think that's my first tour song is really what it is.
It's a great tune, man. Good stuff. And we're excited to show it here today. It's called No One to Save You by Garrett Owen. Y'all check it out. All right. So,
Parker and the boys play a hell of a show. Fine line rings in my head. I haven't slept since Denver, Colorado. The whites of my eyes are gone red. You're on the phone screaming, why don't you miss me? You know I got a show tonight. Knuckle white driving 24th Street. Still you wanna start a fight. What if I don't wanna fight? What if I don't wanna fight? Fight, fight, fight. Finally got what you wanted. There's no one to save you now. Better watch what you ask for. There's no one to save you now. Standing shirtless in a rainstorm, and I'm waiting for the snow to come. Held the size of my balled up fist, and I think I'll never see the sun. You've tied a noose around what I love, and I'm gonna have to leave you now. Knuckle white driving 24th Street. Still you wanna start a fight. What if I don't wanna fight? What if I don't wanna fight? Fight, fight. Finally got what you wanted. There's no one to save you now. Better watch what you ask for. There's no one to save you now. Better watch what you wanted, kid. There's no one to save you now. You better watch what you ask for. There's no one to save you now. Last chamber in this heart of mine is fire and blanks at a landmine. Tell me lies with your eyes half closed. I'd ask the clouds, but what would they know? finally got what you wanted. There's no one to save you now. Better watch what you ask for. There's no one to save you now. No one to save you now.
All right, so we're back with Garrett. Garrett, I thank you so much for doing this. We have some fun segments that we like to do. They're kind of little short stuff that we do for TikToks and stuff to create buzz for the episode. Some of these, I'm going to have you choose between two different segment titles, though, okay? So the first one, choose either Did You Know or choose Algorithm.
Did you know?
All right, so what is something that people don't know about you?
Oh, wow. Oh, that I was an amateur power lifter in my late 20s.
I would not have guessed that.
Right. Right.
So was that a passion as well?
For about 2 years, yeah.
Very cool. All right, next segment is called Impactful. I love this segment so much. Can you name 3 people that impacted your life in some way? And then tell us the number one thing you learned from each of those people.
It's 3 people?
Yep.
3 people. Okay. Retta Brandon. She taught me how to read. I had to get pulled out of class a couple hours a day every day, first grade through third grade, for various types of therapy. I received therapy in all the subjects at that time. But she taught me how to read, which some people thought was going to be impossible, but she taught me how to read. Now I love reading. I still hate math though. I needed a ton of help in math.
That sucks, man.
Yeah, I hate math. Yeah, Retta Brandon. Let's see. My grandmother. Grandma, she had a ton of compassion. I mean, she was always my favorite living person when she was alive because she was just so different and interesting and funny. And I think her being alive is what was convinced me that being a strange amalgamation of things is beautiful. And she was definitely that. She was a full-blooded Japanese woman on one hand, and she lived in Savannah, Georgia for like 40 years.
Wow.
So she would say things like, "I'm gonna give me some chicken strip and potato wedges." So
That's amazing.
She's saying this totally southern thing with a very Japanese accent attached to it.
Yeah.
And then even towards the end of her life, she was doing all these strange things that at the time were kind of frustrating, but now I think of just strange and beautiful. Number three. I don't know what Wesley's up to, but he had a profound impact on my on my sense of humor and my taste in music.
That's got you out of the got you into the mainstream, so to speak, musically, right?
And I gotta say this about him. He was another like odd, strange, and beautiful combination thing. He was half white American and half Ecuadorian. His dad was American from Alabama and spoke very little Spanish. His mom was Ecuadorian and spoke almost no English.
Wow.
And yeah.
So you were just it's the lessons you were taught early was just, accept everyone, right? Like just everyone's important.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I love that, man. And the reason why I love that is because now you can show the world that, right? And you are with your voice and Your art. All right. Next one. Choose either Mount Rushmore or choose one artist.
Mount Rushmore.
All right. So who is on your Mount Rushmore of songwriting? Best four
Ooh,
songwriters ever.
I've got to put. This is gonna seem almost unacceptable, but I've got to put. I've got. He was writing most of the lyrics for the particular for the band that he was in, so I've just got to have him in there because he made his lyrics make me feel comfortable with being who I am lyrically. Scott Weiland of Stone Temple Pilots.
Yes, I love it.
So so he's in there. Um, Elliott Smith. Uh, Jeff Buckley. Hey, will any of these people be alive? Uh, and there was a guy that he wrote I think he was on one end of writing a bunch of jazz standards. Um, Matt Matt Dennis.
Okay.
He was one of he was one of the two people behind uh, like Chet Baker's "Everything Happens to Me." Um, and several other jazz standards that I really like. He was one of the guys that wrote a jazz tune called "Angel Eyes."
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm trying to think of the other guy because I think they were kind of a team. One of them wrote all the lyrics, and one of them wrote.
All the music.
Hmm.
Yeah, that happens a lot. All right. My next segment is called "What the Heck." This is like a game show style segment where I'm just going to give you 5 random questions that are designed to put a visual into your head. So just tell me the first thing that pops to your mind. Okay.
Sure.
All right. Number 1. This is "What the Heck" with Garrett Owen. If you were a crayon, what color would you be and why?
Maroon, because it's my favorite color to it's my favorite color to have on black.
Yeah, red and black. Yeah, that's my
Mhm.
favorite. Well, those were my school colors too. So yeah,
Oh,
yeah. All right. Number 2. What is no big deal for most people but torture to you?
torture, no big deal. Mm.
So like for me, like somebody rubbing styrofoam drives me freaking crazy. But like
Mm.
everybody else, they don't understand why it drives me crazy. It's just the sound of it.
Um. Oh. Uh. Laundry.
Yes.
Laundry.
Laundry is like a 7 point system, right? There's wash, dry, fold, put away. Like ugh,
Yeah.
do all of those on different days. That's what my wife and I do. It's
Okay.
like she'll do the washing and drying, and I'll do the folding and put awaying. You know what I mean? All right, number
Yeah.
3. What is your favorite or best curse word alternative?
Oh man. Here lately it's frick. I just go
Frick.
with frick a
All
lot.
right,
Yeah.
all right. Number 4. Do you have a song with a person's name in the title?
Person's name in the title. Yeah. Mary Reed.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. All right.
Very old now, but yeah.
Yeah, 2011, I think, right? That record came
Mhm.
out. Yeah, 14 years, um, almost 15. Jeez, we're getting old, Garrett. Um,
Oh, I am.
yeah. All right, number 5, last one. Have you ever tripped on stage? And if you did, how did you play it off as cool?
No, I've been lucky. I've never actually tripped on stage.
Really? Wow. You might be the first that has never tripped on stage.
Well, because I kind of, I associate it with drunkenness, and
Sure.
I haven't been drunk on stage very many times.
Okay. Very cool. All right, next segment. Choose either bucket list or choose fly on the wall.
Man, bucket list.
All right, what's on your bucket list of things you still want to do?
I mean, for no reason other than that it's still there to do. I, I still want to tour the kind of the top half of the U.S.
Hmm.
So to speak. I haven't. I've kind of as much as I'm really close to having toured like the whole across the whole bottom half of the U.S. Up to New York, Boston, um, what New
So we're
York, Boston, Connecticut. So
so
I've kind of toured across the bottom half to get over there.
yeah.
I've still not really toured across the top half at all.
So you got to do like
Um,
Montana and North Dakota and Michigan and yeah,
exactly. That's still there to do, even
yeah,
though um, there's just less people
sure,
on that whole section of the U.S.
yeah, a lot less people. At least until you get to the central, like Minnesota and Michigan and Pennsylvania have quite a few people. Wisconsin, but like you get
Okay.
west of that, Wyoming, like
Yeah, dude.
the Dakotas, Idaho, yeah. Yeah, there's nobody there. But at the same time, the people that are in those areas are probably really going to love your music more too, I would say.
Huh.
You know, like I know a lot of people that tour in those areas, kind of Americana style of music. Okay,
Mhm.
next segment. Choose either biggest lesson or choose moment of gravity.
Ooh, moment of gravity.
Okay, so moment of gravity is like we can kind of look back in our lives and see that moment in time or event that happened that kind of led us on the path that got us to where we are today. Can you kind of see what that event was for you?
Uh, I mean, it kind of feels like staying at my friend Eric's house while he was trying to learn the Grange.
Yeah,
Like, without that moment, I don't know how many years later I get interested in guitar if that doesn't happen at age four. Well, like 2 weeks before my 14th birthday. I don't know.
yeah, it might never happen too, right? Like
Yeah.
it might just never happen, and like we're not here talking, and we don't have all this fabulous music. So yeah, thank goodness for that. All right, next segment is called Grateful. What are the three things you're most grateful for?
Not having had bronchitis in like 6 months has been fantastic. Um, uh,
Knock on wood.
yeah, I haven't had to be on steroids or antibiotics in 6 months. That's been pretty awesome. And um, less time on social media. I've been turning my phone off sometime in between 10 p.m. and 11 p.m. every night, and I don't turn my phone back on until after I've had coffee in the morning, and it's been really pleasant.
I imagine so.
Oh, just general creativity.
There you go. So, lack of bronchitis, lack of social media, and creativity. Cool. All right, last segment. This might be the hardest one for you to answer, though. It's called "Who Do You Think You Are?" So, who is Garrett Owen?
I guess I'm an artist and a wanderer and a questioner. I do think, but I think thinker is like a really strong term. I think wondering is I'm better at wondering things than I am
Yeah,
at really thinking things. Um, sometimes I'm a traveler. Yeah, I'm probably more than a lot of people, but
I love that so much. You are the Troubadour's troubadour, in my opinion. I think I'm going to title this episode "The Wandering Troubadour" instead of "The Wandering Troubadour." I think that's interesting. The
Gotcha.
Wandering Troubadour. We have Garrett Owen here for the first time ever, man. I'm such a huge fan of yours. I appreciate your time today, Garrett. And I'm going to let folks know where they can follow along with you. The website is garrett-owen.com. We're going to put a link in the description down below for that. His two main social medias are Facebook and Instagram, where he is Garrett Owen TX on both. So at Garrett Owen with TX at the end of them. Follow along with everything he's got going on there. The website has all his music, his videos, his touring dates. He's got a merch store there, so you guys check that out. What's the best way, would you say, for people to support what you do as an artist?
Just follow me on stuff, and when I put new music out and you like it, just share a song with one other person that would be my request. Yeah, and I don't know exactly timeline yet, but I'll probably be putting out an EP in between January and March of 2026.
Very, very, very excited about that. We definitely need to chat then again, so we can let folks know that that's out. And Garrett, I appreciate you being on so much, man. Thanks for your time.
Thanks so much, Chris. I love Boston, by the way. Boston's a fantastic
Thank you.
place.
Yeah, I bet you they love you there as well.
Yeah,
Hey, everybody, this is Susan Gibson, and I want to thank you for tuning in to the Boston Chris podcast.